We just need to add his name, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you
In
just
a
stop
world
the guy,
where Rob, Carl, and Josh, and Ben
and
do the thing.
Just do like, and Ben's here too, and I'll hard mash it in there.
just like still jarring.
Drop the music and everything.
Or what's that? Like, you know, when you hit record on your computer and you play it back, and it's the automated voice, like, "My gosh, I went to see Becky
And
Be like
Carl
Microsoft stuff.
and Carl, Robert, Josh, and Ben."
And
Or the lady's voice though, and Ben.
go for, yes, perfect.
Let's slap a question mark after and Ben.
And Ben. Dang it! You know the automated voice will read it the way it shows up on the prompt.
Read it how I
Who
wrote
put
it.
the question mark in?
Oh Lord,
Baby,
baby.
or the automated baby.
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 In a world of shiny helmets, spandex jumpsuits, and strange monsters, these heroes force feed you a bowl of awesome that is the Tokudon Podcast. Join Carl, Josh, and Rob as they haphazardly welcome you to the exciting genre of tokusatsu. Now, open wide.
This weird bald-headed prick. Hold on.
Make sure you have the wiki up while you're doing this, Rob, just so you can experience the majesty that is this show.
So I got to watch, I think, like 6, maybe 7 episodes, but at some point my internet froze, so it restarted on an episode, but I think it skipped an episode. So I may have gone like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, and then that was it. I'm not entirely sure.
Don't worry, they all followed the exact same format.
Who's this pale guy?
I don't know, but that's
Oh, wait,
He's
post a
from-
picture so we know what you're talking about.
I did. It's in the Discord.
It's in the Discord. He's from Turbo. I just forget his name.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were
had-
talking about VR Troopers. I'm like,
No. I've had like nightmares of this guy, and now it's like
Because he was a
hitting me all
carryover
at
from
once.
Turbo, because Turbo goes directly into this one, which is in space, because that chick's from in space.
Got it. All right, cool.
Okay.
All right, now we can focus on what
Should we get started? All right. Forkness of darkness, empower me. Take me back to my virtual reality.
that is the speech the bad guy says every time he wants to go to
every
his
single
realm.
time. It's
Are you feeling it now, Mr. Robert?
Like, is it because he has to? Is it like a
Yes.
keyword?
They never explain
He
it.
has to.
Is that
They
his
don't
login information and password?
He
That
has
seems to be the login information as far as we can tell. Because the writers of this clearly had no idea what VR was.
No. But
Just
also,
none.
I also have a feeling, so I'm going to share this wiki fact for you now, because it kind of leads into, I think, when they first originally had this bad guy written, it was for a completely different show. They may have also completely filmed those parts for the show and just edited it into this new stuff.
Like so jarringly, like
It's so they literally, most of the characters in this never share the same room other than the main 3, and when they transform they never share the same room, period. So like it is
No, that's not true. 2 of them always are together.
I'm sorry. So when the main dude, Ryan Steele, when he transforms, like the 2 will be untransformed and show up. But when they're all 3 are transformed, only 2 of them are actually in because they're from the same show.
oh yeah.
So like Ryan's always off doing his own thing somewhere.
Okay, so
They always have to come up with an excuse of why he's not with the other 2.
let's establish that we're talking about
Yes.
a
So-
show from the 90s.
Welcome to Tokudon. This is our review this week. We are talking about VR Troopers, which was the first sister series to Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This was before Beetleborgs. This was before all that stuff. This was
it got pretty big too.
No, it didn't.
No.
No, it failed miserably. They dropped it for Beetleborgs.
This is definitely they had like the second-rate writers on this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say.
But yeah.
Don't feel sorry, it happens. They knew it.
Yeah.
Are you saying
I'm glad that they got work.
So yeah, let's put a little more context in this because I do have a point about the main bad guy. But essentially, like Power Rangers, this one was a combination and edit of like 7 different shows. In particular, 3 shows of this one: Dimensional Warrior Spielbahn, Metalder, Chojinki Metalder, which is basically Hokkaider, or Kickheider. I'm sorry, which one? I always forget which one's which. Hokkaider. Kickheider, yeah. Kickheider's the good one. Hokkaider's the shotgun. Got it.
Yes.
And then later, the main character, we didn't see it. We only watched the first 10 episodes. The main dude switches from Metalder to Scheider, Space Sheriff Scheider, which is the red Space Sheriff.
So he gets an upgrade.
He gets an upgrade. He gets like a battleizer, and I'm pretty sure is what it is. And he gets the Scheider suit.
Okay. All right. So
yeah.
assume this is back in the 90s and you're pitching this show to me. What are you telling me? You're telling me that we're going to piggyback off of the Power Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to throw We're going to throw 3 different shows together as well as our American mixed up little side film and somehow create something that lasted 2 seasons?
Yes, but imagine this. This isn't even the first meeting we've had. This is now the 3rd meeting. The first meeting, I came to you with a script called Psychon, starring our one and only Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger, as Adam Steele, using footage from the Metalder, and then it is more of a mix of technology and magic. So it then evolves into our second. Let's call our later meeting for VR Troopers like the 5th meeting, because the second meeting it evolves into Cybertron, also starring Jason David Frank.
So we couldn't quite settle.
Okay. Transformers,
like Transformers. And he was a singular protagonist. There is no team, and he is fighting against all the bad guys and everything from VR Troopers. So that's how this started.
That explains so much.
Right?
Because every single boss fight, he pulls out his sword and goes, "Ugh!" And I was like, where have I heard that before?
Yes. So
I know that sound.
The dude who takes over is Ryan Steele very clearly, which is like, I'm just going to imitate Jason David Frank because that's what they wanted, and they probably couldn't afford him because he was doing
that was
his
direction, just be Tommy.
Basically, because they all do like the Tommy Ugh! When they're fighting. And apparently the original theme song was essentially just "Go Green Ranger, go." Like his actual theme song.
Troopers.
Yeah, pretty much.
So. I remember I have, pretty vague memories of the show, but I do know that the theme song was catchy as hell. In the fact that they repeat the same shit like 7 times.
Yeah. No, it's wild. So yeah, this show actually started as something completely different, and that's why I think, getting back to my point about the main bad guy, I feel like they filmed all the scenes in the pilot for that with this dude, and then just carried it over to VR Troopers, and we're like, nah, we're not going to reshoot that.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, to that point, like, when he says that speech, it doesn't feel like that's what he's actually saying.
Like they dubbed in other words?
To me, it looks like they dubbed in, because it's just something about it just seems off.
Yeah.
Like the episode of the original Power Rangers where Rita comes out of the moon, but her mouth isn't moving even though she's saying she's free. Kind of
After
like
10,000 years, I'm free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. So, yeah, they may have even, like, Frankenstein their own show into this.
So, okay, you guys watched. I didn't get to see, so...
Let's explain that for a second.
I've heard of Ryan Steele's name a few times. Who are the other characters?
Let's pause for a second, because let's explain the new way we're doing this. So, if you guys have listened to any of our episodes before, we typically just random roll every 400 something, whatever, and then, we all review it. This time, however, we're going to start doing something a little bit different. We're going to give it a shot, see how well it goes. Worst case scenario, we go back to the old way. But
one of us dies, whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
Or one of us dies, whatever. That's fine. Essentially, we all pick a couple different toku, put it onto a list. We pick 2 each, essentially. And then whoever wins out of that roll gets to have their show reviewed for the next one. And then to do this first one, we random rolled to see who wouldn't watch it. So we have to explain that show to the person who didn't get to watch it. And that time was Rob. So Rob did not get to watch this magical adventure into the VR world.
And I'm actually very envious that I didn't, because no matter how bad I just wish I would have watched this. So
yes. So to continue our conversation,
Yes.
Ryan Steele is the main character, and every single episode starts with him longing for his father, who is apparently missing.
missing. Okay.
I was wondering this while watching the 10th episode. We don't know anything about his mother, right?
No.
It's just the father that he cares about.
Just the father who apparently was fighting Grimlord, the main bad guy, who just disappeared one day. Like some odd years ago. So every episode is them in front of a pagoda doing karate and him narrating or looking longingly off into the distance wearing a leather jacket.
So in the first 10 episodes, is it insinuated that his father was also a VR trooper?
I don't know.
That's your answer.
Didn't he make the technology or something?
He made all the tech, but and he was fighting Grimlord in some way, but he's more of a scientist from what it seems like.
Okay.
But they really don't talk about him, and it seems to be a reason to go into the next episode. They're just like, man, I miss my father.
So it wasn't that hit.
I love the one. I remember my dad, but something about him I forgot, and I'd like to remember it because it's forgotten.
Yeah.
And I'm remembering to remember now.
I'm remembering because plot.
Yeah. It's it's something, man.
Okay. All right. Now, all right. So my question is, was this power was the whole VR trooper thing? Is that his dad going, hey, I'm gonna give you guys this power, or did they stumble upon it? I can't really remember.
They kind of just have it right out of the gate.
No, they stumble upon it they get some message to go see the father's friend.
Yes, they all on their computers get a message from this random person to come to this random place, which is basically the Bermuda Triangle, apparently. But they basically walk in this Bermuda Triangle
I'll
every
give
time.
you powers.
Yeah, and this dude who's very, very unamused by every single thing that happens, is just staring at them dead face. He's like, Ryan, I helped your father create the VR troopers. Put on these things and look into the virtual world, and then they puke the brains out because they get off.
To visualize for you, Rob, picture Black Wilford Brimley.
But with 7 lazy eyes. His eye is so lazy he grows other ones. He's staring at 7 different things.
He's that guy where the director had behind the scenes 50 times a take was like, don't look at the camera. Stop it. So his left eye's okay, what's that doing over there? And his neck doesn't move, his face doesn't move. It's just he's frozen there.
There's bad actors, but I feel like this had to be the director's uncle who is I want to be in something. He is so deadpan. He's Brian, Ryan, go after them.
I really gotta get Uncle Jay in this, man. I really gotta get him.
Let me show a picture of the doctor here. So let me find
a picture of that guy.
Wait for it.
So is he the Zordon or the Alpha?
Yeah, he's kind of the Zordon.
He's literally Zordon. He's in a machine at every point with weird.
He's just on the
psychedelic stuff behind him.
He's living in the VR world, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You only see his head.
Yeah. So that's not even the beginning of the wonderful sidekicks that these characters have.
They have a rather diverse cast, to be honest, for this.
Really?
Time.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, not only do they have... Well, I mean, this is the 90s. Keep in mind that as I say this. Not only do they have one black guy, they have 2 black guys.
And one of them is even the one who does more things.
Random hacker guys.
Random hacker guy.
This is Professor Hart. This is Zordon. I just put it into the Discord.
What? What?
Well, he's not random. I guess he's not random. He's the other member of the team. And he just, for some random reason, knows how to hack computers.
He looks like Whoopi Goldberg's brother. Just the whole getup. What the fuck?
He has this expression. It's kind of hard to tell because it's very pixelated, but he has this expression through the entire show, no matter what is happening. Or this is actually an even better expression. He's just sick of everyone's shit.
And I'm not kidding when I say he doesn't move. There's no... He doesn't blink, his ear doesn't twitch, his chin doesn't... He's just frozen there, and his lips move.
This is so serious. Julian Combs.
Oh my god! Yes,
I gotta know.
This is Zordon.
So that's the face.
Is he wearing the outfit that The Rock has in his like secret picture?
The entire time.
When they were casting, they're like, "Dude, you got it, man. Like you're it."
I just like it's.
This is one of those guys who, like, for the rest of his life, he's like, not many people know this, but I was actually Dwayne The Rock Johnson's stunt double. Yeah. That's pretty cool, man.
So, yeah, that's Zordon. Okay. That's who recruits them all to the laboratory to get their powers.
I'm trying to look for a good picture of the three
together.
Main, yeah. Oh, here we go. I even got the dog in this one.
Yes, we'll talk about the dog in a minute.
There's a dog?
Don't even get me started on the dog.
There's a dog.
Oh, come on.
There is a dog.
Okay, all right.
There we go.
Oh, good boy, dog.
Yes. Oh, he's something.
He's not a good boy.
No.
He's not a good boy.
He's not
what
a
is
good
that?
boy.
Is that like the actual villain? Is that what this is?
No, it is so much better.
Just...
We'll get to that. We'll get to it. Let's start with the main. Let's continue with the main three. So there's Ryan. He's the blonde dude in the middle. Very Jason David Frank. That's why he's wearing the flannel vest with the colored shirt underneath.
Oh yeah.
And then JB to the right there is the hacker. He's the one who wears the who does way more than Ryan ever does in these episodes.
So he's like the actual leader.
Yeah, he does a lot more. He wears the Spielbahn stuff when he transforms.
Okay.
He transforms into, surprise, surprise, the black one.
Yeah.
This was the 90s.
This was the 90s. So when he transforms, this is Spielbahn, who uses laser swords, very Space Sheriff.
Oh, wait. I got a better one because it shows the Power Ranger intermediary form.
What is that?
There's a very strange, like, intermediate. They clearly just used old Power Ranger helmets to, like, they travel into the VR world or something. I don't know. I don't know.
They didn't even try to hide it. It's just like, oh god,
they just repainted.
That's so awful.
I'm the Black Ranger.
Yeah.
What?
So that's.
Or I'm the Black Ranger.
Oh my god.
Oh man. And then there's I don't even remember her name. What's the girl's name?
I don't know, but she's hot.
Jessica. Samantha.
Caitlin.
Yeah.
Hold on, got her too. Hold on, here we go.
She kind of looks like a Brittany, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. So she turns into the other Spielbahn armor hero.
Oh god.
And so JB and her are in almost every fight together when they're transformed. Like they're inseparable. Either that or it's just JB. And then Ryan is just off like farting around or falling down a hill. Like he is so useless. It is absurd.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But yet he gets the power up.
But he gets the power up.
Well, the thing is, he's always wearing blue, so they had to make him blue.
Look, can I see his Kikaider suit? Did they change it at all?
This one's Metalder, so it's a little bit later show.
Okay.
So do you have one for that, Rob? Or Josh?
Hold on.
Ryan Steele.
Is she holding a Kusari?
It's some weird blade shit. I don't know, man. He uses like, yeah. So that's
god!
Yeah.
God!
So they like find really awkward excuses for them to like awkwardly cut in the Japanese show to like all the bells and whistle things, like because he's an android in the Japanese one, obviously. So like, there's all kinds of weird shots of like the gizmos going off, and they're like, "Oh, my power's failing."
Oh my god!
And that's his upgrade. Yeah, Scheider.
Gotta make it blue.
Yeah. So,
kind of looks like a downgrade.
It's so awkward.
And what's with his face in the bottom middle picture? He's got like
that's them like half transforming.
he's got like Popo's mouth though.
Po.
We don't just let it.
That's
happen.
because the part of the silver mouth is coming through, and that's why.
Okay.
So yeah,
Head's
that's
exploding.
It's
all right.
That's your main cast and their outfits.
Who are the villains?
Oh boy, I don't even know. Grimlord is the only one I know.
Grimlord,
because this is where the show literally falls apart.
This is where it's falling apart. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, we haven't even scratched the surface, man.
We haven't even started.
Here's the human.
Yes, that is Grimlord in his human form. This is the guy. He touches this little like crystal ball thing here, and that's what he says. You see it in the image. Yeah, you see it in the image on the Discord. Sorry, I forget we're doing an audio podcast.
Check the Discord.
But he puts his hand on that crystal ball and turns into that ugly motherfucker.
No, he doesn't. He turns into an old woman.
Yes, and then the old woman becomes the ugly motherfucker. And then he reiterates every single time, "Forces of darkness, empower me. Take me back to my virtual reality.
Take me back." Yeah. Oh, Lord. He goes from Sam businessman to fucking Palpatine.
He goes from Trump to Palpatine.
That's awesome. So he doesn't do anything ever in the first 10 episodes?
No. He walks around his office.
He sends the monster. That's all he does.
Yeah. And this eclectic group of monsters, they all have names and they all apparently talk all the time, and I couldn't tell you a single one of them.
So it's really Monster of the Week though. Like there's
it is very much that.
Now I don't know, does it do the same thing with like Power Rangers? How there's a moral lesson behind every episode or some shit?
No.
Kind of. But they fail spectacularly. So like we were saying before, there's the beginning and like end where he's talking about his father and like the life lesson he learned from his father. And they kind of do this, okay, we're going to show you this, like their human lives kind of show that. And then they randomly throw in a monster.
Oh.
Like, with Power Rangers, how the monster usually somehow relates to the story.
Yeah, there's just random monster.
It's just random attack monster because we need a monster here for them to transform.
Yeah. So, like, the one I was saying, like, I have to remember what I forgot to remember. Well, what are the odds? A monster shows up. Has nothing to do with anything, but I'm going to kill him. And then he kills him, and he's like, man, I'm glad that monster showed up, because now I remember what I forgot. It
really seems like most of the lessons are, beat the shit out of it, you'll be okay.
Like, okay, now, why the virtual reality? Why?
No one knows.
Really?
This is clearly, these are definitely like just keywords that they're picking up.
Yep.
You know what's really big? VR. Let's make a show about VR. Anyone know about VR? Fuck no.
They how when they'll always fight in like a city or like a park or something like that, like there's the locations you notice throughout Tokusatsu. Right. They'll teleport to like the gravel quarry. You know which one I'm talking about. If anyone is watching you know which one.
Yeah. Okay.
But like Spielban, I guess, only fights in that gravel quarry in all of his shots. So every single time JB is fighting, it's just always in this like brown sand.
Oh yeah, the monsters like never show up in the city.
No.
So you're like, why are they attacking?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. What the real threat is? Is it
just that he's a bad guy?
Grimlord is trying to destroy the real world, apparently. But apparently the real world, I don't know. That's it. He's trying to destroy the real world.
Imagine you had like a penny, right?
Okay.
And your producer is saying, I want you to combine Ready Player One with Digimon. Use this penny only. Got it. That's what you get.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very jarring. Like, the show is very jarring. Like, there's tropes, and like Power Rangers is, corny and cheesy and all that, but like this is the reason stereotypes for tokusatsu exist. Like this is the quintessential American tokusatsu.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, this is like the freshman go of everything. And oh god. Okay, wait. What about the dog?
Oh.
I feel like that's got to be built up to.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute.
Like we'll go through the episodes and kind of.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So
how about this? I'm going to read you some of the names of these stupid ass villains.
Okay.
So you got our main bad guy. His name is Carl Zichter, or Grimlord. When he goes to virtual reality, when he gets that ugly scowling Palpatine mug.
Zichter. That's
General Ivar. I couldn't tell you which one that is. Colonel Icebot. Couldn't tell you which one that is.
Are these Mega Man guys?
These are apparently. There's Zelton, Toxoid, Blue Boar,
and
Despera,
okay.
Doom Master, and his vixens. Orosian, Nighttime, and that's spelled with a K, just so you know.
Oh, excuse me.
Fighter Bot, Tankatron, Ballistics, Cannon Nose, and the Skugs are the putties. And how do they beat the Skugs, guys? How do they have to defeat them?
Oh, there's a method to it.
There's a gimmick, like when the Super Putty, they had to punch him in the Z. There's a gimmick to it.
I might have missed that.
They have to have them touch each other. That's why whenever they bump into each other, they zap away.
Wait, really? That's their weakness?
That's their gimmick. So, like, they can't actually destroy them, but when they touch, they zap out and return to virtual reality.
Oh,
that
God.
makes things a lot more funny.
That's why every single fight ended with them just, like, bumping awkwardly into each other.
And then,
Yeah, then they just, like, and they dissipate.
oh, so they don't do the fucking.
Oh, they do. And there's even a cheesy, like, dissolve filter on every single one of them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And they've got wings, too.
Some of them
But
have
they don't
wings.
fly.
Yeah. And some of them are, like, hot office ladies that just turn... They're like Posh Spice that turn into a bunch of putties.
So,
Are you feeling it now?
Oh, I feel it all the way through. I think I'm missing one element. Do they have mechas?
Yes, they do.
They do. They do.
Yes and no.
Well,
yes
they have
and no.
Yeah,
ships.
Yeah, they have ships. They call it the Sky... Oh, they have one. I guess technically two. There's
Oh,
his,
that's-
like, rocket cycle thing, and then the Sky Base.
Oh, you got to show me. I can't just. Oh.
There is a flying motorcycle with a sidecar that has wheels.
That he crashes 2 seconds after getting it, but we're not going to talk about that. Actually, we are going to talk about that. We'll go through the episodes. We'll talk about that.
Oh my God.
Is someone grabbing some pictures?
Or was it going to just kinda...
Take me.
Also, JB is the only one who gets like a super weapon. He gets a giant bazooka.
Oh, but that's okay. That's me.
That's cool.
That's cool with me.
Yeah. So that's a thing that
Vector-
happens.
Vector cannon or
Yeah. It's more like Power Ranger combined gun thing.
oh, Kabuto Bluster. Got it.
Yeah. So, let's see here. So, should we go into the? Is there any other characters? We're gonna wait on the dog. We'll get to the dog.
I'm anxiously anticipating
Good.
this.
You should be.
He better be like the ultimate villain. And
He
just
is
like,
the ultimate something.
I'm gonna just do one little teaser for Rob without giving away too much.
Okay.
Oh,
Because I have a teaser too for him.
wait, is that his jet?
That
That's
it
a
look. I
gun?
think it might actually be Skybase, and then he shoots it.
Oh shit!
I didn't actually realize that until you said it. He may actually like either shrink the Skybase or grow and use the Skybase.
just Ultraman's up and grabs.
Yeah, because he like disappears and fizzles and does all this techno stuff and like teleports to it. He may actually grow into it. Oh my goodness.
That's what I'm going with. That's what it looks like.
I just
Load the passengers. What?
Fired the escape pods.
so yeah, it's just
I dig it. All right.
I'm trying to find the other vehicles while Ben loads up his teaser.
Oh
for the
no.
dog.
No. I can just do my teaser.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Ready? Right here goes.
Oh.
That is an actual thing that goes on for like 15 minutes.
Oh, I'm afraid. Okay.
Hang on. So this is the turbo cycle, as they call it. This is what Ryan gets as his vehicle. Apparently, it's called the Side Phantom. So he crashes this thing 2 seconds after getting it.
And wait until you find out what he crashes it into.
Yes.
Fucking nothing.
Listen, you're not supposed to predict the actual episode before we talk about it, okay?
Are you serious?
That's Skybase. So yes, he is actually firing Skybase. Now that I look at it,
Oh my god! I guess
100%. I didn't even know.
With a ship that size, just like throw it at him. Fire it. Just,
Oh, it's like twisted in the middle.
Yeah, it looks like it just like folds over and then but I
That
really
is
want
clearly something
we've got to
that's
watch
supposed to
Spielbaum.
change into a giant robot.
Yeah,
That is-
It looks like legs, right? Yeah.
it's
that's
the SDF-1. That's what it looks like. Oh man,
in case you're wondering where you can see these pictures, join us on Discord.
there you go. The Discord. The link will be in the description. Click it away. Every time we'll do an episode, we always have fun pictures to post. Like Dr. Worm's up here somewhere.
Oh
yeah, so hop in Discord.
The best nightmare fuel.
The best nightmare fuel. So yeah, that's the weaponry. Other than their, they get laser swords and guns and all that usual nonsense. Yeah. Let's talk about the episodes themselves, I guess.
Okay. So I get the first episode is him being all broody and moody about his father.
No, that's the entire thing.
Not really. Yeah,
that's the whole thing.
He's also not broody, really. He's just like, I miss my dad. And then he just goes into the episode.
Oh, okay. So he's not an edgelord. He's just kind of
he's just a pretty boy who wants to see his daddy.
Okay.
That's it. That's
he's got daddy issues.
So the first episode, like I said, they get called by the doctor, Professor Hart, and they walk into the Bermuda Triangle, and they go into the lab, and you find out all about the VR world and all this nonsense, and they get little necklaces that let them transform, and they're
the least VR thing about the entire thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it definitely, they went way too far with that first script, and then turned at the last second.
And ironically, the necklaces kind of look like those Digimon.
Yes, they look like the crests.
Clip thing. Yeah.
Yep,
really?
100%. Yep. It's Professor Hart is wearing in that picture.
Oh, the thing that he's wearing.
Yeah,
that's what
that
they have?
triangle thing.
Yeah, they all get that. Yeah.
That's their henshin device.
Yes.
Got it.
And to henshin, they just say Trooper Transform. That's it.
Oh, that's great.
Trooper
That's
Transform.
tasty.
Yeah.
Trooper Transform.
Yep.
Okay.
So then they get their sweet suits. There's no electro plots or anything like that.
The best part is that they use these really crappy looking VR helmets beforehand, and then they get the necklaces.
Yes.
So it's
that's what those weird Power Ranger suits are.
No. I'm talking about the purple VR headset that they put on to see the VR world, and it's okay, you had helmets that are actually something used in VR, but instead we're going to transform with a necklace.
Yes. So they put on the helmets to and then they see it, and that's when they get all trippy dippy, and they get vertigo from it. And then he gets a message from his dad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I will see if I can find the helmet.
There was a picture. I found one pretty easily. I'll see. Anyway, once they go back, they transform and get into it pretty quickly. By the end of the episode, and then they immediately split up for whatever reason. Because
they can't be in the same room at the same time.
Yeah, they literally can't. Ooh, man, that is
what the fuck. I'm just looking at images. And
yeah,
what
it's so good. So Ryan and JB also hang out at Karate Dojo, of course, just so you know.
Of course. Right.
So JB
they all do.
So not only is
she hangs out there. I can't tell if she's a student or not, because sometimes she's a student, sometimes she isn't.
She's just
they're instructors. They're all instructors.
They're all instructors? Okay.
Wait, so they're not teenagers, or they are teenagers?
We don't know.
We haven't figured it out. We were trying to figure it out before the episode.
So 25-year-olds pretending to be teenagers.
Yeah.
So Ryan Steele is this 45-year-old man who's still my daddy.
Yeah, pretty much. JB is saving up for college, but you can go to college at any point in your life, so that's really the only kind of gauge we have. Yes,
there you go.
VR helmets.
That's what they put on to see the VR world.
What?
And as you can tell, these are these big, awkward, virtual boy glasses that are weirdly purple. But
that was the idea when you thought about.
Yeah, and it would make sense if they put those on Trooper Transform, and it came out of the glasses, and
so it starts with that, and then it becomes the necklace.
Transform.
It's two separate things.
He's just designing a character.
Yeah, two separate things. This is to see the VR world, and then they take them off and get the necklaces.
What?
Yeah, it's
okay. No,
the thing to see the VR world is actually way more complex than transforming into
a virtual reality warrior.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Infinitely more complex.
The show's absolutely insane.
That's what I'm saying. It was written by someone who clearly doesn't understand what VR is.
At all.
Very real.
Real troopers.
That's the way that you joke, but that's the way they treat it. They treat it like it is a very real alternate reality.
With like real world consequences and shit.
No, like the villain is on a different world, and he just sends his troopers to the real world.
So the human guy is even on a different planet?
Oh no, he like switches back and forth.
Oh, I was about to say,
He's in
what
the
the
human
fuck?
form in the real world, and when he goes to the VR world, he gets that like Palpatine mug.
Okay, got you. Okay.
That's why he uses the dark forces to empower him. Duh.
See, that's another thing you have to think of too. Not only is it a show where the world is humans who can go into a virtual reality world, but he summons the powers of darkness to go into a digital world to send out data. So now like the Force exists too.
So
midi-chlorians are actually zeros and ones.
yeah, so the Sith becomes Skynet, and then we're all fucked.
It's literally all your
so
favorite
you
things.
did watch it.
It's all of my nightmares in one.
Oh man.
What's funny is like he says that speech, and it sounds like he has some kind of boss, or he's asking something to return him. But he's the boss. He's the leader of this group. So
is he though? Because they like he always throws that like digital image of that guy up in front of him who like gives him a speech on what to do next. He's like that white armor with the black face.
I think that's one of the general guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's always like, who's our strongest fighter? And then he just like names some random dude. Literally every episode, he's like, who's like our strongest fighter? Who's our most capable fighter? And it's like, what? What? So the first episode ends with Ryan's suit losing power.
Oh.
And they have to go and find him.
So they have like a time limit?
It just loses power, man. I don't know what to tell you.
It's just in the script. It's just done.
Yeah. You can't unhension once you've henshed.
He gets like beat. Everyone else unhensions except him. Like he gets his ass beat, and then he's just like stuck in his robo form. It was very strange.
It actually, that's one of the tropes that never made sense. Once you get your ass kicked, then you just unhension. But if he gets knocked out and he's still in the suit, that makes a little more sense. Just fuck.
Isn't that everyone knows that's when he crashes his bike, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, that's later. He doesn't get the bike till episode 2 or 3.
No, much later.
No, I think the crashing. I mean, that's the suit thing. The first episode is like, okay, there's this army that we have to go randomly fight.
Yeah,
now.
and then his suit powers down, and then they get stuck against the tree, and then they go find him. They literally find him just leaning on a tree.
These episodes are just kind of same thing, different week.
It really is hard to keep track. It's very understandable. The only reason I know is because I have the wiki up.
Hey,
yeah. So the first episode split into 2. Essentially, it's just, hey, look, team. But they already work together. There's no like tension or anything between them because they're already friends. And it's not like they all fight together anyway. So it really doesn't matter.
Character development probably is not the greatest thing either.
But, it is actually Oscar worthy.
Oh, excuse me.
Ryan goes from longing for his father to looking off in the distance and longing for his father. Oh boy. Man.
All right.
So then we get to the third episode, which is the one where that's one I was talking about, Josh, where I've seen those suits before. That's when they go in there and they go into the VR world, but in their like half Power Ranger suit things. They get these very clearly recycled Power Ranger suit helmets and spandex.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know what the point is, but they do that.
Like no armor. It's just the
spandex underneath.
Yeah,
basically.
it's in the middle row. It's of those those images I posted. The top image.
Oh, it's that weird palette.
Power Ranger. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's those. Some shit happens in the episode after that. So then. There's something about a virus. I don't honestly remember the episode at all.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't seem like there's real consequence.
There isn't any consequences whatsoever. Oh,
like
the only thing that does happen in one of them
the virus,
is
right.
Yeah, that was the computer virus that like infects the town.
Okay, so one important thing though, isn't that the episode where you find out about
Jeb?
Their general?
Jedediah?
Guy?
Their general. Which general?
What's his name? The Rock's double guard, Professor Hart. Isn't that the one? Isn't that the one where he's like not?
Yes, that's the one where So the computer program takes him over and then like changes his personality to just like insane.
Wait, so he goes from no emotions to insanity?
Just absolute insanity.
It's literally a clip where he's like, "You have to come find me," and they're like, "I don't know. You don't really seem like you." "No, I am me. Trust me. Don't question me. Find me." So like, okay, and they leave, and as they do, he does like the blandest evil laugh ever, like.
Got them.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh my god, that's his character development. That's it. The rest of it is he's just sick of their shit the entire time.
It's just over it.
Dude, that face, man, I'm telling you, that is his face. When the Combs picture, that is his face the entire time. I am so over you little shits.
What was the whole point of this episode? I was bored in here. Thought I'd have some fun with you.
I'm so
sorry, guys. Yeah, that's the third episode because the first two were, like I said, just the duo. The fourth episode is when we get to see Ryan in his fantastic bike. Is the third episode also when Jeb happens? Is that the third episode? Jeb's the dog.
Yes, but I feel like we're just
gonna hold off
the
altogether
dog till the end. Okay. Yeah, and then do it as a big.
That'll
reveal.
be the icing on this cake.
Which one's the episode where they started off with the rollerblades? Was that 3 or 4?
I think it was 3 because 4 starts with the lady randomly walking into the dojo.
Okay, then can I just say something about 3?
Of course.
The intro.
Of course.
So, Rob.
Yo.
You've got essentially the Red Ranger and the Black Ranger together in a park on a basketball court doing ballerina spins on razor skates.
No.
And the dialogue literally goes like this. I'm gonna get you.
No, stop.
Nice spin, man. Slaps his butt. Hey, weren't we supposed to meet Rebecca? Oh yeah, you're right. I'll beat you there. Hey, stop pulling on my shirt.
Oh my god.
I'm beating you. It's so awkward.
Oh Lord. Okay.
Yeah.
I actually am not so upset that I didn't watch this now.
I think you should be.
You need to know.
Okay, so does anything significant really happen other than that power up? I mean, the whole point of the first 10 episodes is to develop your story, no?
No.
The first 10 episodes, they don't even know that the white guy is the villain. They've never even seen this guy, from what I can tell, beyond mentioning that he's like this rich Mongol guy.
So how do they...
They don't know that that's the main villain.
How do they become aware of the threat? Is it
okay, so they don't really know he's the villain, but the city they're in, like in episode 1, kind of knows that this guy's a dick.
Yeah, he like blows up housing buildings in the first episode.
And that's also funny because you're like, if you have a stick of dynamite or like a bomb blow up next to you, the blast will shoot you back. These guys are like 10 miles away on top of a mountain watching a building get demolished, and the second the bomb goes, all of their hair blows back and they almost fall down the mountain, and you're like, no, I'm not.
The entire
sure
crowd too, not even like the main 3.
Wow.
Whoa, explosion. Whoa.
Also, yeah, all they do is like mention that this one guy's a dick, but he has like no interaction with them whatsoever in his human form. Not even like a to taunt them type of thing. He's just
that. Just a random guy.
He looks at the same clips when we talk about the bookmobile. It will be exactly prevalent because he watches the same clips over and over again with different dialogue, And that's how he like sees the threat. And then the professor guy is like, "Oh, there's a new VR dude coming," and then they just like run away. And that's pretty much how they handle everything in this episodes.
God.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the next episode is when he gets his bike, because it starts with this lady who was in the building they blew up in the first episode, like randomly wandering into the dojo and not remembering who she is or where she's from or anything.
Because she forgot to remember.
She forgot to remember. She forgot to fucking remember.
My God.
And then it very quickly turns into, Ryan, try out your new motorcycle. And, yeah.
Okay. But now, before we get into how it crashes, we got to go back to episode 1. They're in a car driving down the road. And a man, in a suit, obviously, with helicopter propellers on his back,
yes,
is chasing them in the air, shooting missiles out of his wrists, and he blows up the same bush 5 times.
Like it's literally the same clip. Like just
like bush blows up. Oh no! Explosion next to the car. Drives the car. They get out of the car. They're on a beach. Cuts to a clip of the bush blowing up. The Rangers are like, "Oh man!" And then they fight. Or
also, the car can fly, but whatever.
Yeah.
So this dude comes back, Flying Boy, and they're like, "Oh, Ryan, use this to fight him," and it's literally a motorcycle with a sidecar that has a jet engine on the back of it. Great design. Great design choice.
And now picture this. Thousands of miles of open sky. You have a bike that can fly. There's a man who has a helicopter propeller on his back.
Right.
That has like complete mobility, and 10 miles apart from each other, they stay on course to play chicken that neither of them can get out of. It's literally the scene from Austin Powers where the guy's in front of the steamroller like, "No!"
It goes on for like 10 minutes. It's ridiculous.
Just flies right into him like, "I can't turn!" Oh.
It's so bad.
Oh. Okay. If you look close, you can see the Ryan's like leg fall to the ground.
It's just, yeah, it's. And Ryan is stuck in his suit too. By the way, when he falls from the sky and they find him, and he doesn't remember anything. Oh God. Shit. This fucking show. So yeah, Ryan ends up wandering around in his suit for most of the episode, not remembering anything until he.
Just like walking up to people.
Yes,
and like,
at one point he's literally sitting under a tree with a flower, and he goes, "Oh, the pretty thing. I like the pretty thing." And so when they find him again,
works either.
Yeah, like when they find him, they pull him in to the same like shot of them running down the same pathway the helicopter dude was blowing them up in the first episode, like the exact same shot. Blowing up things that aren't them on either side of them. And he's like, "I left my pretty thing back there." And they literally kick his ass into the car. Just get the fuck in there.
He got his ass kicked so bad. He got, reverted to a child?
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what happened.
Oh my God.
It's ridiculous. So they have to like forcibly take his armor off at the lab and stuff, and then eventually he gets his memory back because he interacts with the dog, and they have like a fond memory together. And yeah, he just gets
That'll
it back.
make sense later, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, that fond interaction will be so then it harkens back to the message of the story where your loved ones will always make you remember, I guess, is the message. Because the lady sees her daughter and remembers, and that's the end of the episode.
Now, is that the one where the bad guy had like it sort of looked like he had the jet wings and he was like silver?
Yes, I think, because it's very hard because the jet and the like helicopter dude go out all the time in like every single episode.
Yeah. So the final battle, probably one of the sissiest enemies I've ever seen. The final battle the guy pulls out his lightsaber blade and he's doing the whole thing or whatever. But as he goes to stab the bad guy, like the bad guy runs up to him like, and he gets stabbed like, boom, just dies. Oh, okay. I'm gonna get you.
Dude.
It's so weird, dude. It's so weird.
I enjoyed the show a lot more than I thought I would.
You liked it. You liked it. Don't lie.
I like how stupid it is.
Like it's
I found the Bermuda Triangle. Hang on. Okay. Anyway, yes, I like how stupid it is. I will give it that.
I wonder if in like later episodes it pretends to like become like an actual series, or if it stays as ridiculous throughout the entire thing.
I'm sure it stays just as ridiculous. So this is the archway Bermuda Triangle thing they walk into to get into.
That is a Stargate. I've seen that show. This is it's God.
Literally a Stargate Bermuda Triangle. Like,
okay, wait. The Stargate is a circle.
I know.
You're a circle.
By the way, we didn't mention this yet, Rob, but the Didn't WatchIter has a pop quiz at the end.
Oh, shit.
This episode is how many different movies and shows influenced VR Troopers.
Yes.
By name.
All of them.
You're only gonna have a minute.
I'm just saying yes, because I from what I gathered, the show is it's very 90s, and the graphics look even more 90s.
Well, the shows themselves are from the early 80s.
Oh.
They're 86 and 87, and then the other one is 84. When he gets the upgrade later, that's actually the earlier of the shows.
Hey, upgrade?
Yeah, so the next episode might be my favorite of all the episodes, period, is when there's the bookmobile. You find out JB's dad worked for the library, and he drives around a book truck. Like a truck that just delivers books to kids.
Also the episode where we discover that he's saving for college.
Yes. So, and because the reason there's a lot that happens in this episode, I'm just realizing. The reason he mentions this is because they're doing a doubles tournament during the episode the entire time. Like, they're doing a sparring tournament. So they're not only doing a sparring tournament, they're also trying to save his dad and defeat the monsters in their VR forms. All within 20 minutes.
So they're saving his father because you find out that the library doesn't have enough money to repair the bookmobile. And if they don't have the bookmobile, they're just going to fire his father.
Yes. And so for whatever reason, the bad guy knows who JB is, at least, because this is where he watches the same clip of the bookmobile going by like 7 times and is like, JB, VR Troopers, go. And he sends the putties after the bookmobile, and they just literally like tap it with axes for 5 minutes. They're literally on it, just like dink, 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 and like the dad's freaking out.
I thought you were going for the theme song there.
No.
Dink, 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 dink.
They might. But I think the real star of this episode is his dad's shirt that says "Reading is cool." Period.
That's what his shirt says.
It's like awkward dark blue with like black letters, and it just says "Reading is cool." Period. I literally can't make this up.
That's amazing.
Oh, I just. Oh God. So yeah, they essentially, the car breaks down, or the truck, or the bookmobile breaks down. They have to defeat the dudes and then get back to win the tournament. And instead of JB putting the money into his college fund, he gives it to his dad because the library can't afford to fix the truck.
No, that's
the. Of course, they won the tournament too. So,
of course, because why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, Steele also gives his money to the dad too, because
did he?
That's gonna make that part. Yeah, it's gonna make it perfect or something stupid like that.
It'll upgrade it even farther.
Yeah.
The next episode, I'm gonna be honest, I literally mentally clocked out. Like I watched it. I couldn't tell you what happens other than there's 2 brothers and then there's 2 monsters. Couldn't. For the
this is where you learn. Don't bring kids to dangerous situations. That's the moral lesson here.
Oh, because that's where they always end up. Yeah. What is that? A giant monster smashing buildings? Hey, little Billy, why don't you come take a look at these?
Yes.
Well, look at the flowers, Billy.
So the girl is also like a reporter, kind of, maybe.
Okay.
Everybody in the show's a maybe kind of.
Maybe kind of something.
Yeah, it's.
And, yeah, so she's like trying to do this article with just these two random kids that I don't know why she has them to begin with, but they're there.
She was supposed to be taking them home, and she's like, "Oh, that'll give me a chance to stop by this radioactive nuclear fallout site." Like, what?
As you do with kids.
As you do with kids.
You guys want to go on a impromptu field trip?
You want to? Yeah. You guys want to go to the core Chernobyl? What's up? Like, what?
I hear some pretty sick sights down
Yeah.
there.
So before all this, the bad guy's like, "Oh, we need to do something about the VR troopers," and like summons two random dudes to like, and then wants to challenge Ryan by himself for like, you know, your champion versus my champion kind of thing. But then like, of course the kids show up, so they just like throw that into there, and it's another excuse of why Ryan is off doing his own thing while the other two try and rescue the kids. It's just like, what the fuck?
It seems like they had to write such nonsense in order just to use the clips.
Yeah,
Like,
that's definitely what it was.
Good God.
No, I don't think so. They just wrote nonsense and threw in clips.
Throwing clips.
Yeah.
Like, look, I wrote this garbage last night. I don't know. I was really vendor. You think we can make something happen?
Like,
yeah, just give me like 5 minutes. I'll come up with something.
I think
feel
this
like
may be the same writer that wrote the Street Fighter movie in like 18 hours, ripped on cocaine. Like,
I just figure if they actually looked at the clips before they started using them, the story might actually link together better than it does.
yeah, that's really like the main difference between Power Rangers and this.
Yeah, because as I mentioned, the monsters don't really seem to relate to the story, except with like very minor things. It's like, I don't get what you're trying to do here, buddy.
Yeah, I just. Oh Lord, yeah. So he goes and fights the duos. He beats the duos. He gets laser hands. Apparently, I don't.
Laser hands, like another weapon.
He uses laser chops because he's a robot in the fucking clips. That's why. This fucking show. Oh my god. So the next episode's another like random excuse for them to fight shit. JB gets kidnapped. Is that this one? I think. With the girl who has to like learn karate in 2 weeks.
2 weeks to learn all of karate.
She has 2 weeks to learn karate.
Yeah, but in the VR hyperbolic time chamber, it's like 20 years.
She's actually a Goken level fucking master.
No, apparently Tao is the dude who runs the dojo, whose name is like Ricardo in real life. But yeah, Tao is apparently just like, he just puts his hand on her forehead and like unlocks her potential kind of thing.
Guru.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to reach deep in, I mean like metaphorically, but I'm just gonna like hold you, okay? So I'm going to reach deep inside you.
Don't sue me.
Don't sue me.
Essentially, yeah. They fight. There's a girl who learns karate in 2 weeks. That's pretty much it.
Damn.
Computer captive is the next step. That's the one where JB gets kidnapped. So JB gets kidnapped. Caitlin's off farting around somewhere. I don't know what she's doing the whole time. But Ryan has to go and save JB from Griblord. He's just like hung up by electrical wires and is like, I'm so weak. I can't. That's pretty much the episode.
Got it.
And then I forgot about this. So at the end, when he gets recovered, he's in the lab. He does this like 3-minute kata thing where he's just freaking out, and then like screaming, like, and then you realize his mouth isn't moving at all. They dubbed over his
non-moving mouth.
His mouth isn't moving even slightly.
He could be a ventriloquist.
That's what I was about to say.
He's not.
He's not, though. The sounds are coming from his anus.
That's what it seems like, because he's doing a lot of like jump spin kicks and stuff. It just
Jump, spin, kick, fart. What the?
It's my ultimate technique.
This show is so bad.
That's my secret, Doc. I'm always ing. Oh.
Yeah. Might need medical attention.
Could you? I wish my farts were like that. Oh man. So yeah, that's that episode. After that is when we get one of my favorite lines ever, which I shared with you, Josh, before everyone else got on. So there's this diabolical plan to put goo into the world to do something. Apparently it's going to kill all trees and plants and all this nonsense. But they're like hanging out in the park because Caitlin has some like little sister program thing going on where she's just like taking photos with this little girl. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. But they've discovered this goo in the park. It's literally just slime.
Okay.
It's just slime. It looks like giant boogers hanging off a tree. And so like they take stuff back to the lab to analyze it, and Caitlin leaves the little girl with her boss at the... Oh, we didn't talk about her boss. Oh my god.
That guy should be is surprised that he has a job, to be honest.
Yeah, that guy, like the head editor, the editor-in-chief, whatever.
Okay.
He's the one in the intro is putting his finger in the cup of coffee and going, with a big dumb smile on his face. Yeah,
it's all you need to know about him.
Yeah, he's as ridiculous as that sounds. So,
what is he just insane, or is it just like
he might have been hit in the head several times actually? So, yeah. So they get this analyzed, and they're like, JB's like, oh, it's a liquid that's going to destroy plants and trees, and Ryan literally straight face, dead in the eyes, goes, why would it be in a park? And like. I was like, I heard JB's inner voice like,
bro,
like it because it's gonna kill all the trees and grass, right?
Yeah, but why would
idiot?
What platform?
Oh my god, that fucking. So yeah, they fight some more and kill the bad guys, and there's goo. I don't. That's all I got. I don't know, man.
Oh god.
Someone talk about episode 10. I can't do this anymore.
Well, I didn't get that far, so it's gonna be on Josh there.
By this point, I was just skipping through it because I was like, okay, I understand this method that we got. And this is where the bad guy has like this human. Maybe I don't know if he makes one of the generals look human, or just makes this person that is like, okay, now we're gonna get the VR troopers to make friends with this guy and he'll backstab them. And
he made a T-101.
And so, but he's like clearly got these weird mental issues, but he's supposed to be making friends with them. Like you wouldn't actually be friends with this guy. He's like, oh, he's great at martial arts, but he's also a really big dick to everything, especially the dog. It's like,
the dog.
And this dog, I mean, I can understand why he's a dick to the dog, but still, it's just too much. And he's like, you're not helping him become friends with them by giving him this personality because of the bad writing.
So they tried to make a friend and made an asshole.
Yeah.
It was an asshole from the beginning. That was.
I need you to infiltrate this. Okay, no problem.
Yeah. I've got a winning personality. No, you don't.
No.
And so, also, oh, by the way, he's a genius hacker too, and so he like somehow traps them in the Bermuda Triangle. And then the next person who steps through will be transported to a combat VR simulation. It's like, okay, well, someone actually read the VR, something about VRs at this point.
What? Oh, God.
This show's gold.
And that's when I mean, that's the part that I remember, him running around in that red blue Power Ranger outfit, actually doing something. He like has a fight, which did not seem to be an issue for him. He was like, "Okay, I'm out,"
and that was it.
That was it.
Yeah, it's like a two-parter, I think, and so I don't know if they got out at the end. To be honest, they could still be trapped because he went to go and fight something else.
So because again, we're going to keep this as the icing on the cake. Let's give our final thoughts before we go into Jeb.
Well, how about this, Rob?
Yo,
your thoughts
yes.
first on what we've said.
From what I've managed to retain, because I've been inundated with
a lot of things,
an insanity of a show that doesn't make sense. If in the 10 episodes you told me this shit, what did they do for 2 seasons? Okay,
I got nothing.
Awesomely cheesy hodgepodge show with some mysterious element that I'm still going to say that the dog is the ultimate villain at the end of the show. Thank you. Close?
That's giving way too much credit to the dog.
Yeah, it really is. This was weirdly enjoyable for me. I hate it so much, but it's like, I fucking hate you, but I love you. I fucking hate you, but I love you. You're so dumb. I think a lot of it honestly has to do with using the Metal Hero stuff, and I always just love Metal Hero suit designs in general. So it helps. Like JB's double laser lance thing is really sick looking, and his finisher move's kind of cool, where he extends it and then shoves it into their face, and then Darth Mauls them a few times. He has a Darth Maul lightsaber, basically. Yeah. It's pretty sick.
That's a redeeming thing.
Yeah, it's cool. It's so jarring. That's my biggest issue with it. It is so jarring to the point where it's hard to follow. Why are they here? Oh, they were just there. Wait, what? That's the biggest thing with it. You can cannibalize and edit all this kind of stuff together as much as you want, but it's just you gotta have some kind of through line. So,
and it just didn't. Never, not once.
Yeah.
Hey, we're not talking about the dog yet.
Okay, my bad.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, older shows like that, I feel like without rewatching them, it's kind of I can leave that in the past. That was cool when it was the 90s or whatever. But this was one of them where it was so cheesy and out there that it seemed like it was present day done as a skit, as a joke. Yeah. So I related and was like, okay, this I can enjoy this. This is funny. It's so bad that my eyes just don't care anymore.
You cannot take it seriously at all.
Yeah. From the very first line of the show, you're like, okay, so it's one of these. All right, gotcha. I got it. Ha 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 ha.
Got it.
Forces of darkness empower me. Take me back to my virtual reality.
Take me back to.
I also think another reason it's I wouldn't say nostalgic, but since all the VR stuff that's been happening recently, in the last couple of years,
yeah,
it also seems relevant today. Like you were saying, how it's kind of this weird skit, if people didn't know what VR was.
It's bittersweet. You're so this is where it all started. But then at the very same time, you're and it probably should have ended.
All started. Oh, Lord.
There's probably some guy out there still to this day who's got a globe. He's one day VR will make it. One day.
Yeah.
I, of course, loved it.
Of course.
Because it was so bad that I loved it for that reason alone.
It's fair.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like embracing it for what it is kind of the trick. Just love it because, oh boy.
Oh boy. Oh. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's let's get into the star of the show, honestly.
Okay, so Rob, before we do, I have a question.
Sure.
What would you say if I told you that even Inspector Gadget influenced this show?
Before we go any further, what do you think is up with the dog? That's what I want.
Apparently, I've been giving it way more credit than it deserves. I'm over here thinking he's some kind of secret fucking villain that's like there watching them, but apparently it's just a dog.
Oh no. It is not just
insignificant mortal.
It's not.
Oh no. So in the second episode, there's like a power surge in the laboratory. And Jeb is in the lab because he just pals around with everyone. And it gives Jeb a ability, let's say.
Okay.
Can you guess what it is?
An ability?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Is it
Something
a psychic?
dogs don't normally do.
Is it a psychic dog?
No.
No.
That would have been a little more interesting.
Something a dog doesn't normally do. Fuck, dude, I don't
You
even
can ask
know.
a dog to do this, but it normally doesn't do it.
Play dead.
Or if it does, it's not like you and me.
Speak?
Yes.
Yes.
He gets the ability to talk.
No, stop it.
The dog starts
fucking
talking.
Talks?
The dog talks the entire time.
Oh no! And what? No, find a clip. What does it even sound like? What?
Oh,
I'll tell you what it sounds like. Ready?
The first couple minutes he's talking, and they're like, "Wow, Jeb, you can talk." He's just being an asshole. And he's like,
Really?
Anytime someone like yells at him, he's like, "Oh yeah, well." and it's funny how they do it too, because clearly you can't get a dog to go. So they got a quick shot of him stick his tongue out, and they do a freeze frame. So it's just a frozen frame of the dog with its tongue out going.
What?
And then he pulls it back in, and the clip resumes.
So Ryan makes him swear not to talk in front of other people. Let me see. Is this a good one? Yep, that's a good one. This wasn't in the episodes we saw, but this is a great clip of him talking, and it looks like he's just like running around backstage. The dog may just be running around backstage.
Oh, Lord.
So I'm going to play it on my end, because since I'm recording, people should be able to hear it. Just double check and make sure my settings are correct here, because they should be. It is something.
What the fuck?
He sounds like a bad Jack Nicholson impersonator.
They
did like the Mr. Ed thing where they definitely like put peanut butter in his mouth or something.
You can see him like gnawing at his own face.
Also, it's like some of it is like in reverse too. It's like that doesn't look natural.
Those
anyway.
are the putties, by the way. Those are
Scugs.
Scugs, yes. Those are the putties.
Is that an Ultraman head? Do they have Ultraman head?
No.
It sounds. Why does the dog sound like Jack Nicholson?
I don't.
That's just the
it's the
voice they
shtick he
decided to
does.
give.
Yeah. Because the entire time he like plays pranks on people and like knocks this one lady into mud because he wants to.
He's slapping it with his tail.
He's genuinely just an asshole.
Oh Lord!
And he has to comment on everything.
He made them touch, so they fucking.
Yep. So
Oh.
they away.
That doesn't befit an enemy that you send in mass. Like, what's your one weakness? Oh, if I touch anything that's like me, it's over. All right, I'm gonna send like 55 of you to go take out this guy
In a hallway.
Hallway.
in a narrow corridor, and you can only attack 2 by 2. Okay, got it. Go.
They go to do like some combo attack. Quick, take my arm, and just die. Oh man, we didn't really
They
think
do,
that
they
through.
do like that Naruto link where it's like 45. Just
Fusion. Ah!
Oh man. So that is Jeb. His name is Jeb. J-E-B.
The dog. Jeb the dog.
Jeb the fucking dog.
So from now on, I will solely think about Jeb the dog when asked about what our troopers.
Yep.
If you could describe VR Troopers in one sound, what would it be?
Oh man. So yeah, that's VR Troopers. It's on Netflix if you guys want to go watch it. That one, it's one of the few shows we can probably watch legally.
I think I have to watch it now.
You might have to watch it now. So, should we get into the roll for the next one?
Absolutely.
Do it.
All right. So let's explain this again because we were kind of all over the place in the beginning of the episode.
Yes.
We're changing up how we're doing the reviews. We're gonna pick a couple that we like, roll between them. Whoever gets picked is like the winner. This week was Josh. Josh had picked VR Troopers on our first roll for this. So as such, because he won, he will be the not watcher for whatever one we roll next. So he will not watch it, and very similar, we'll try to explain it to him and see what's going on and get his opinion on how it sounds and how poorly we explain it.
It's going to be fun.
Honestly, I think we couldn't explain it any better than that because there's really nothing else to it.
Actually, just out of curiosity, how was that, Rob? At not watching it, question-wise, us explaining it, like, were you into it, or?
No, here.
We did our job.
Good. I think I nailed it.
Good. Go watch it. Maybe we'll get your thoughts, like, when we start the discussion episode next week.
Oh my god, yeah, I'll just give you, like, a quick...
Or next episode, I should say. So, yeah.
I don't know what happened, but I watched the whole 2 seasons. It was amazing.
We have our 6 choices. If you guys want to go through, I just stuck with my choice from last time, Kamen Rider Blade, and then I also picked Guyver the movie, the live action one.
I chose Car Ranger and Garo Ryuga, the first season.
Light in something Yamano, Light in the Darkness, something like that.
Yeah,
whatever that one.
Yeah, that one.
All right, I got what's it called? Godzilla vs. Bylante and Power Rangers. Help me out here. What one was
Lost
it again?
Galaxy.
Lost Galaxy. Yeah.
Okay, so let's roll and see what we're watching here. So I'm just using a random number generator. We'll swap it out between there. Number 6. That is the Guyver movie. Oh,
nice.
Cool. I guess we're watching the Guyver movie. Yeah, we're watching the first Guyver movie.
Hell yeah. I'm okay with that.
It's I'm curious how well it's aged, honestly. I haven't seen it in a good 15 years. And I hope it's horribly.
Yeah, I mean, you've got, well, at the very least, we've got Mark Hamill, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, as a lobster man. All right, so we're going to watch Guyver the movie next time. Josh is not going to watch it because he watched VR Troopers.
Lucky best.
You can follow us. Join our Discord because it's fun and you get to follow along as we watch it and see all the fun stuff we do. And maybe we'll start streaming again. I don't know. It's a whole thing right now. But come talk to us, hang out. We chat about random stuff all the time.
All the time.
And you can also follow us on all the social medias and all that nonsense. We have our Tokudon Facebook page and YouTube channel, I think, that uploads randomly, like whenever I post it. I don't know. But you can also follow me at Kaiju Karadu on all social medias, Instagrams, Facebooks, all that nonsense.
I am at Sick Mirror Tricks on the same. Cool.
Ben's too cool for social medias.
Yeah,
I don't do that.
I don't do the facey spaces in the my books.
Media thing. Yeah. No, you can. I'm the author on Discord. See, there's too many of them. I'm getting mixed up in my head. All right, so the author on Discord, and that's about it, guys.
That's about it.
That's about it.
I'm Play PhD on most social medias.
That was Tokudon.
Yay! See you guys next episode. Bye.